Hey, Shad here with Speed Addicts, the fastest growing gear site on the web, and today we're going to uncrate EBC's V-twin rotor lineup. What's up, Speed Addicts fan? Before we get into the V-twin rotors from EBC, do us a favor, do you a favor, subscribe to the Speed Addicts channel. Takes one click, then you're up to date on all the latest gear and parts coming into the two-wheel space. We're going to help you make excellent buying decisions through educating you. Also, if you'd like to support us here at speedaddicts.com, it's as simple as spending your money with us. So we make it easy. There's a link in the description below. They'll take you right over the complete selection of EBC braking components and clutches over at speedaddicts.com, and we really do appreciate that support. So if you're not familiar with EBC, you should be. They are one of the leaders in aftermarket braking components, rotors, pads, shoes, you name it, for power sports braking solutions. They got it at EBC, and we've got it here at Speed Addicts for going on 20 years. We've been an authorized dealer of EBC braking components, so we know the stuff, we use the stuff, and we will help you find the stuff. So give us a call if you're looking for anything EBC, or just go on the website and shop away. So today we are talking about the V-twin rotors. So they have a very specific rotor engineered specifically for Harley and V-twin machines, and I'm going to explain to you why they may differ from their sport bike rotors or their off-road rotors, okay? The number one difference is that the hub of the EBC rotors for V-twins is going to be steel. For superbike, off-road, even if it's a floating rotor, floating means two-piece. And two-piece floating rotors can handle a lot more heat than a standard one-piece fixed rotor. So on the front of a lot of heavy or high-performance machines, you will see a two-piece rotor, a blade and a hub fixed together with rivets, or as they call them over at EBC in the UK, bobbins. Sounds cool, right? Okay, bobbins. So you got bobbins and then you got a hub. So a lot of the hubs for superbikes, off-road, supermoto are going to be aluminum, but aluminum hubs are not up to the challenge of stopping a fully loaded, FLH bagger with a passenger on it. It's just not going to fly. So instead, we go with a steel hub, and we use the same German mill-rolled steel in terms of the blade, just a very high-quality steel that's tempered and ready to take the challenge of stopping a heavy machine quickly. It's also engineered to work well with EBC centered pads. Those are typically denoted by a double H, and that's a metallic pad as opposed to their carbon or organic pads, which may be suitable for the rear of such a machine, but I would not recommend them for the front of your V-twin because they're just not going to give you the same brake effect or as much bite. The other thing that they're doing here with the V-twin series is they have a lot of different options, and there's some combinations that we don't have on the table, but generally speaking, you are going to see either a 5 bobbin or a 10 bobbin configuration. Remember, rivet means bobbit, bobbit means rivet. So we have the 5 set up over here and the 10 over here. This is an aesthetic thing, and so for a lot of machines, you're going to see that you have the option. You can run it in either configuration, and then you get to pick the finish of your hub. They'll have a polished or a black, so you pick it. This is a polished steel, or they have that black effect here. Again, it's still steel. And then contoured or a standard rotor blade. The contour will remove a little bit of weight, so there's a performance edge to that, and give you a little bit more bite on the rotor from the caliper. But typically, in this application, you won't notice a big difference. It's mostly an aesthetic choice for you, and they know that V-twin owners like to have their options when it comes to aesthetics and both that rivet and the finish of the actual hub itself. Now, another nice thing about EBC is that they use a special type of rivet. They call it a square drive connection between the hub and the blade itself. So while this looks round, the edges are actually squared off if you disassembled this. And what that does is it allows this rotor to continuously be floating and not let these two pieces touch. You notice there's a little space here where my thumb is, if you can see through here. You want that space or that gap maintained even under extreme conditions. When the rotor is very hot, it will expand in both the outward direction towards the caliper and inward against the hub. And if it does make contact against the hub, that's when the rotor would warp. The square drive is engineered to prevent this and make it very difficult to, if not impossible, to warp an EBC rotor. I've owned quite a few over the years and haven't managed to do it myself. So that is their engineering solution in their floating rotors. So that is the V-twin setup. Again, there are more combinations of these flavors of hubs and rivet combinations. Check them out at speedaddicts.com or just go talk to our rider support team. If you know what you want, just go talk to those guys and they'll help you find the right part numbers for your machine and make sure you get them fast. They're available over the phone, email, or live chat. That's it for today. We'll see you next time to find out what's in the crate.